Hi guys, this is our lab 4, I guess. Yes, this is actually our lab 3 in week 4. Yeah, we are still doing some online learning. But these are very important activities. These are very important lab exercise. Make sure that you have done it yourself up because you may have an assignment on this. This is actually pretty useful for learning Android Studios. So I'm going to show you how this work first. So hold on, just at the very beginning, I have actually built up a form. We're gonna work together step by step. So just want to show you the result first. So I've already built a form. So this is a very typical form. I type my name, then gender, address. This is not a full address of my office, but anyway, I don't remember my exact office address, but Professor Walk, guest, current town. Okay, then I chose some products A and B probably. Then when I click the submit button, so this is actually a form with some text field, with some gadgets for user to fill in. Then there's a button. When I click this button, then I have started another activities, and these activities allow me to show my names, show my address, and show my products. Okay, a very typical one. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay. You may need your worksheet to work with. Anyway, I'm going to show you the worksheets later. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm starting a new Android Studio with the empty activity. Next, I'm going to call this guy lab 3. Yes, we're actually doing lab 3 in week 4. Yes. Yeah, checking your language Java API 23. Yes, click finish. Then I'm gonna minimize this guy a bit. Okay, so we have a very typical layout for the development environment, and I want to show you the activities. We actually build a form, so normally you should draw on a piece of paper so that you have a form, then with some gadgets layout. Okay, remember, just take a look this one. Okay, for those names, gender, address, and product, these guys. Okay, you see that I just use a widget as text view. Okay, but I didn't give them any IDs because this name, gender, address, and products, they are not involved in programming, so that I do not need to do any program on these 4 guys. Okay, name, gender, address, and products. Those under the red circle, they're just labeled, so that I don't even need to give them an IDs. Okay, but for those widgets, okay, cause I'm gonna type some name, I'm gonna pick some choices, and type the address, and those product A and B, those are check boxes, and these are the buttons. I gave them all IDs because they will be involved in programming. Okay, so make sure you should draw on a piece of paper with all the gadgets required, and make sure they are in appropriate positions, and to give them and to decide whether you want to give them IDs or not. If they will be involved in programming, then you need to give them an IDs. Otherwise, you can just leave the IDs as default value. Okay, and this is my second activity. Okay, so which means we're gonna be a new one. I just have 3 text view and with 3 different IDs because they are also involved in programming, so that I have to give them IDs. So make sure you work with this piece of paper, work with this piece of lab sheet, and yes. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna build a form like this first. Okay, so by default we have a activity. So we just click to the layout resources folder, and layout we have a main activity. Okay, and let me make it bigger. It's easier for you guys to read. Then again, I'm gonna take out the hello world, and I'm gonna show some tricks to build a form, because this form is actually, it's not super complicated, but it's actually a bit more complicated than what we have done in the past few weeks. So I'm gonna show you some tricks. So first of all, usually I build from the top left hand corner, so that I'm gonna get a text field. Okay, so I'm gonna just drag to the left and drag to the top. And also I'll give them margin, let's say 16, probably 16, and 32, I guess. Okay, so for this ID, okay, since they just for the text, I just give them a name, or them name property with a name, okay, with a semicolon. I do not change the ID because I don't need this to be in program, so I just leave it like text field. Okay, of course you may want to change, but it's up to you. I want to change font size to 24 because it's a form. I want to make it bigger, so that we have a name here. Okay, now we're gonna add a plain text for user to key their values. So I'm gonna add a plain text, put it here anywhere you like. Okay, by default it has a name, so we're gonna erase it later, but anyway. So we're gonna connect its left button to the name here, so that they sit next to each other. But I want to give them some margin. Let's say give them 16. Okay, then for this one, for the top, instead of connecting to here, I'm actually connecting to the name here, so that if I do so that they actually align. Okay, they actually align, and this is actually very important. Okay, I will show you later. Now I want this one occupy the full length for the rest of the width, so that I just click it to the end. Okay, and of course I don't want this part to be center, so that I will change my layer width here. Instead of wrap content, I will change to match constraint, so that you fully occupy the stuff. And you may also want to get some margin, let's say 16. Okay, then so that it looks a bit nicer. Then for the text, for the default text, simply just cross it out. Okay, then you have your name and the text box. I prefer the name using a list text size 24. Okay, otherwise it would be, if you're using the default size, which is 14, that would be very unmatched with the edit text size. And for this edit text, I forgot to change the ID for this one. So for this text box, you better change your ID, because our ID is, like for this one, the ID is txt name. Okay, so that we're gonna change it to txt name. Press enter. Then yes, we have txt name here. All right. Then next one, with a gender. Again, this is only a label, so I'm gonna click it to connect this. Instead of connecting to the left edge, I'm gonna connecting to the name, so that actually they have them. The left side, okay, are actually on the same margin. Okay, then for this one, for the top, instead of connecting to the underneath of the name, I will actually put it here, and give some margin, because this part is actually bigger than this part is actually bigger than this part, so that rather than having this one put it underneath of this one, okay, it will not look very nice. Okay, I better put this underneath of this one, so that it will look nicer. Then for the name, I'm going to give this guy a gender the default text gender, and for the text size, that will be 24. Okay, now we have gender on 24. Now this is the interesting part. So we, according to the form, we have a radio buttons. Okay, radio buttons is an n choose one. So if you have like 2 buttons, okay, when I click this one will off. When I click this one will off. Okay, so when it's a n, it's a many choose one. But before you put a radio button, it's actually it's actually pretty tricky. So make sure you you follow the steps. Okay, so instead of putting a radio button, you actually need buttons. We go to buttons. Instead of putting radio buttons right away, you have to put a radio button groups first. So when you put a radio button groups here, just dump it anywhere. Okay, and you're gonna have an error. We're gonna fix it later because of course we haven't connected the left and I mean the horizontal and the vertical part, but it's too small, so that it's actually very difficult to see the effect. So there's a radio button group. So now we're gonna put 2 radio buttons within this group. So that I'm gonna put radio button, just dump one there. Okay, it's very difficult to put it inside here because because it's actually the radio button group is actually almost invisible. So instead of putting on this page, it's actually putting on this part. Okay, underneath radio button groups. Okay, then I'm gonna put one more. Okay, so they're actually on radio button. The radio button group actually connect to has 2 buttons. So I'm gonna call this guy. So when I double click this one, so make sure you focus on this one. I'm gonna configure the radio buttons later. So let's configure this one first. So I have I'm gonna put the left constraint here. So make sure what you're focusing. I'm focusing the radio button group, not those radio buttons. So make sure you have a bigger square, okay, frame instead of this button or of this. Okay, this I'm configuring this guy. Okay, the bigger one. Okay, so here I'm gonna let it set to the gender. Okay, with the default say 16. Then for this one, I'm gonna connect to this gender, so they are on the same thing. Okay, now we actually fixed the radio button group's position. Now it's time to configure the radio buttons. So let's do the first one. For the radio buttons, for this ID, I'm gonna call it ARDN, stand for radio button, and male. Okay, and then for text, I'm gonna call this guy male. Okay, default text size will be 24. Yes. Yes, this is good. Then the second radio button, I'm gonna call this RDN female. Okay, then text female, and the text size will be 24 again. Okay, for the radio buttons, you need not to fix the position, because the radio button group's position we already fixed these 2 radio buttons. So make sure you double check the radio buttons are within the radio button groups, otherwise it won't work. Okay, so that I've done it. I'm gonna put the text for the address now. So let's do the address. Okay, now again for this text field, okay, I'm gonna create left constraint connecting to the gender's left, okay, with no margin, so that they're on the same line. And I'm gonna connect this guy to the radio button group, because you know that the radio button group is actually thicker than the gender, so that I want this one to put it right here and give a margin like 16. Okay, then for the IDs I don't care, because I'm not gonna program this guy. So for this address, just give, for the text I just give the address colon, then 24 for the text size. Okay, yep. Now for this one, I'm gonna get a plain text. Okay, let's just put it right here. Okay, again a plain text. Here connect the left string to here, give a 8 margin, I mean the left margin, and connect this one to the address top, so that they're on the same line. And for the ID, I'm gonna got this guy txt address address. Okay, make sure you check the capital those uppercase and lower cases. And for text, just clear it out. Okay, and you may also want to connect to the right part and match constraint. Okay, and for this one, you can actually give it like margin of 16 should be. And then one more, okay, for the product, one more text field for the product. So here again, similar here to here, and give a probably 16 here. Product, okay, again 24 for the text size. So that I've done this. Now I'm gonna put 2 checkboxes. Now checkboxes are not radio buttons. They are not many choose one. You can pick. You can check as many as you like, so that you can actually we don't have a checkbox group. Okay, we just have checkboxes. Just done one first. For this one, connect to the product and connect to here. And for the left margin, I want to give it a bit of margin, so that's an 8. Then for the checkbox, I'm gonna call this guy CHK product A. And for checkboxes, for text, I'm gonna call this product A, and the size will be 24. Okay. Then I'm gonna dump another button. I mean checkboxes, connecting to the left margin of product A. Okay, this guy, and connecting to here. Okay. Then you may want to give some margin here. Okay. Then for the ID, I'm gonna call this guy CHK product B. Then for text, product B. Okay, for text size 24. Okay, so this is pretty much, but one more for a button. Okay, we have a submit details. Just dump it any way you like. Okay, connect to the left and connect to the right. Okay, and connect to the product bottom of the product B. Give some margin as much as you like let's say 64. Okay, for the ID, I'm gonna call this guy btn submit. Call this guy, and but for the text, submit details. So we are pretty much done with the first layer. Double check all the things. Double check this one, you have your text name. This one, radio button male, radio button female, text address, product A, check product B, and the BTN submit. And you double check your component tree and cross check your component tree with my component tree. Okay, so this is the first one. Now I'm gonna add another activity, so that yes, as my practice, I usually complete all layout first. So I'm gonna add another new activities. Okay, so just right click apps, new, and then we have activity, then just pick an empty activity. Okay, so let me do it again. Right click the app, new, then activity, and you have an empty activity. Just click this one, and you have to give a name. So I'm gonna give this name called show result. Then yes, just leave everything like this. Make sure your language is Java still, and click finish. Then we have another activity. Okay, so we go to the layout with the activity show result XML file. So this is a very typical layout. Okay, so we just dump 3 text fields. So we just do one by one. Okay. Then for this one, I'm gonna connect to the left. I'm going to turn to the right. Okay, to the top. Okay, give the margin. Let's say 32. 64, and for each left and right, I give it 16. For the layout width, I'm gonna match. You choose match constraint so that you fully occupy the text. For text size, you wanna make it bigger, so that's let's say 24. So we've done one, and remember to change the text. This one will be txt name. Okay. As I set here, there will be txt name, address, and product. Okay. So let's do the second and the third. Here, with the margin 16, 16 to the left, 16 to the right. Match constraint. I'm gonna call this. Forget for the ID. I'm gonna txt address. You may wonder why I didn't change the text field, the default text, because we're gonna use set text function to change the text to change the text to be displayed anyway, so that we can simply just leave it here. Okay. Then last one. So the ID will be txt product. Okay, so we have done. Let's change back this 16. Yes. So we have the second layout is actually pretty simple. We have simply just have three text field: name, address, and product. Okay. So these are the things. Now it's time to go back to the main activity. Okay. So go to the Java, the main activity to do the program. Okay, so this is the programming part. Okay, we have pretty many gadgets, so that make sure you create all the gadgets corresponding one. So we have edit text. So when you see edit text, you can simply just press tab, edit text. Okay, and for some of you, hold on, just txt name, txt address, txt yeah, that's it. Okay, and for some of you, you may have an error while you type edit text, because your Android just didn't import the class for you. Simply just click on the edit text and press Alt Enter for Windows machine, press Option Return for Mac machine. Then they will actually import the class for you. Okay. The next one will be we have two radio buttons: RADIO, radio. Press tab again. RDN, male. RDN, female. Okay. What else? We have checkboxes: CHK, CHECK, checkboxes: CHK, product A, CHK, product B. These are the names you need to declare. Okay. Button, yes. BTN, submit. These are the names you need to declare. These are all the gadgets we have developed in the main activity. These are actually I'm creating corresponding variables, objects for this gadgets here. Okay. So now it's time to, as I told you before, these objects in Java does not we haven't built the connections between these objects and the objects on the layout, so that it's time to connect them. So I'm gonna say txt name equal to, remember the function called find view by id, r.id dot txt name, txt address equal to find view by id, r.id dot txt address, txt rdn mail equal to find view by id, r.id dot rdn male, rdn female equal to find view by id r.id dot female. Oh, sorry, this should be rdn female, yes. Okay, check product A equal to find view by id r.id dot chk product A. Check product B equal to find view by id r.id dot chk product B. Okay, bdn submit equal to find view by id r.id dot bdn submit. So we have built the connections, okay, between the objects in Java and the gadgets in the layout. So as told you, for every button you need a listener, so that we have used bdn submit dot set on click listener. If you see an on click listener, press tab and type this. Yes, we have an error in this. Okay, press alternate enter or option return. Alternate enter for Windows, option return for Mac. Then you pick a second choice. Make activity implements Android view on click listener. Like this, and click OK. So these are actually not very new to you, because you should have learned this in the previous lab. Now, something new. Now it's time to, as I said, this page is only used to collect the data. So we're gonna collect the data when we press the submit button. Okay, we're gonna put this data into a parcel, into a package, and send this to the next activity, so that the result will be shown here. So now it's time to create a package. So in Java, in Android Studio, we're going to use, how to call this package? It's actually called intent, I-N-T-E-N-T. Okay, intent. Then intent equal to new intent from this comma. I'm going to explain later. Show result dot class. Okay. And you may have error on intent because the Android Studio didn't import the class. Simply just press alternate enter or option return for Mac, okay, to import the class. So this import class, they will have this. Now what does it mean? Intent, this is the class, and the name of this type of this object, we just use the name intent small cases. You can use any name you like, okay, but this one must be intent, and this one you can use any name you like. This is simply just object name, and we're going to create an object from where the intent is sent from. For this gray text package content, package context, you need not to type. You simply just need to type this, okay, comma show result dot class. This is the intent is sent from here, from this activity, to show result dot class activity. Remember, you are not sent to .java, because .java is for you to read. For the computer, they use .class. Okay, so from here, from this activity to show result .class, not .java. Where is the show result activity? It's actually this word we just did here. All right. So now we actually create a package, okay, to be sent from here, from this activity to the show result activity. Now it's time to put data into a package. Now, how to put data? We simply just use intent, okay, the small case, equal to a dot, put extra, okay. Now here, for each piece of data, you need to give a name, so that we have to use double quote, okay. Again, it will pop up some great text. You need not to type, simply just type double quote, okay. Yes, it will give the name for you, and I'm gonna call this guy name, comma txt name dot get text dot to string. This is, what is this? This is the txt name is actually from here. It's actually the values you get it from this one. This is txt name. Okay, I'm gonna get the value from that txt name gadget and change to a string value. Okay, so this is the meaning. So this is actually a piece of data. Okay, I have to give the name I give a tag, name tag for this data. So I'm gonna call this piece of data as name. Okay, so I'm going to put extra. Okay, another one called address. Okay, called txt address dot get text dot to string. Okay, yes, for this piece of data, this where we get the data right here. Okay, then I can change to string. Then I'm going to call this piece of data as address. These are very important. Remember, you have to remember those names, okay, because we're going to use those names and they are case sensitive. Make sure you remember those names correctly. Then I'm going to use intent dot put extra, again mail for round the mail dot is check. Okay, for radio button and for check boxes, they do not have any string value. They simply just have true and false, check or uncheck. So that we use is check to return a Boolean value. Intent dot put extra female, RDN female dot is check. Okay, so this is another female. This is another check radio button. Now for checkbox product A. Okay, chk product A dot is check. Okay, intent dot put extra product B, chk product B dot is check. Okay, it seems that we have actually put all the data we need into the parcel. So double check those names, remember those names. Okay, now it's time to send the parcel out. So that we're going to use start activity, ACTIVITY, not TIES, TY. Okay, intent. Now this one will actually send the parcel out. Okay, so the package out. So we have actually opened a new package. Open a package, send from this activity to the show result activity. Then within this package, we're gonna put those data collected from the layout, and then give them a name, then put it into the parcel. Then we're gonna send it out. So when send out, so we have to where to collect this. We're gonna go to the show result.java, here. This is the show result.java. Again, for the show result.java, we have three text view. Simply we need to create corresponding gadget. Txt text view, txt name, txt address, and txt product. Okay, so go to here and connect these three objects to the show activities layout gadgets. Find view by ID, r.id.txt name, txt address equal to find view by ID, r.id.txt address, and txt product find view by ID, r.id.txt product. So we are done. Then how to connect? So we have actually we have parcel sent from the activity main the main activity. Now it's time to collect the parcel. So how do we do this? We're gonna call intent. Okay, intent equal to get intent. So this is how we collect the parcel. Then we have a error here. Simply just press Alt and Enter for Windows, Option Return for Mac machine to input the class. So this is how we receive the parcel. Now it's time to open the parcel and take those data out. But before we do so, we have to create several variables to store those data. So I'm just creating several things called name, address, and gender. Okay, then string product equal to purchased product. So I'm just doing some formatting, and boolean, okay, for mail, product A, product B. So what I just did is just creating several variables, okay, prepared to collect the data, okay, to store the data from the parcel, okay. So here, how to get the data from the parcel? I'm just name equal to, the name is actually this one I just created, equal to intent dot get string extra. Remember, you have to understand, you have to know. So the parcel here we send from here, you have to know the data type. For these two, these are strings, and for the rest here, they're all Boolean values. You have to know their data type, otherwise it won't work. So here I'm gonna, because they actually get so many extra, get string, get Boolean extra, okay. So I'm gonna get string extra, okay. Now you have to remember the names. For the name here, the tag is actually here, name. So I'm gonna use name. Remember the gray text, you don't need to type. I cannot even highlight this guy, okay. Then I have address equal to intent dot get string extra address. Double check. If you are not sure, double check your name. Yes, address, right. Okay, now mail equal to intent dot get Boolean extra. Yes, okay. Now this should be the name mail, okay. And you need to add one more, comma, false, okay. Now double check this one first. The name is mail. Yes, we are right, okay. Now we have to add a comma, false, because from the industrial perspective, okay, it doesn't know whether this piece of data mail or contains any value, okay. So we have to give it a default value, okay, because in a boolean value either true or false. So by default I'll give them false, okay. I do not do female because either you're male or female, so that if you're not male, then you must be female. So product, so that's why I skip the female line. Product A equal dot intent get Boolean extra again, product A, false. Double check product A. Yes, product A is here. Yes. And last one, product B equal to intent dot get Boolean extra, product B, false. Now this is how we get the data. Make sure you double check all these names are correct, because it won't give you any syntax error if you type them if you mistype them, okay. So this is very important. Now it's time to play around with the data. Then we can, it's about once we have configured all the data, then we actually could show the data. So I'm gonna use gender, okay, equal male, okay, then name Mr, name Miss. I hope you still remember this is a conditional statement. If male is true, then I'll use I'll call them Mr. Otherwise, else I'll call them Miss. This is a conditional statement, a condition statement for in Java. Then for product, so if product A is true, so if product is pick, give a else. I'm going to do something for the else case. Okay, let's do the if case first. If product A is picked, then if product B, if product B is also picked, then I'll say product plus equal plus equal, because what we have something up here, plus equal product A and B, else product plus equal product B only. Yes, if product A is chosen and product B, sorry, in product B is chosen, then I will, of course, product A and B. Otherwise, if A is chosen, B is not chosen, I would simply just use product B only. Okay, else, if product A is not chosen, again, if product A is not chosen, then if product B. If product B is chosen, then product plus equal product B only. Oh, sorry, for this one, this should be product A only. Yes, if product A is chosen and product B is not chosen, then yes, product B only, product A only. So in this case, if product A is not chosen, else case, but if product B is chosen, then product B only. Else, if neither product A nor product B is chosen, then I'm gonna product plus equal none. So this is actually how we configure the data. So make sure you double check all those opening braces, closing braces. Okay, now it's time to display the result. So txt name dot set test. Okay, gender plus temp name plus name. Okay, then txt address dot set test shipping address plus address ADDR. Okay, and last one, txt product dot set test. Okay, product. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, Garrett line mail product A. Sure. Yes. Okay, you want to try again. Mary female, whatever. Okay, for A and B. So this is how we pass data between one activity and the next activity. Of course, if you already know how to pass data from one to another, then there shouldn't be any problem to pass data between different activities. So so this is the basic idea of lab 3. Yes. So I hope you could learn something from here, and these are very important, and they will be on the exam, by the way. So make sure you understand this. Okay, I'm gonna put the codes and for the layouts and for the Java's files on Canvas as well, and also along with this video. So make sure you do it yourself, and you better prepare for your project. This is a very good exercise for the project. All right, then I see you later. Okay, bye bye.